What if the most powerful remedies ever discovered were not hidden in pharmaceutical labs, but written right into the pages of the Bible? Most people do not know this, but while we are running to the pharmacy for every single ailment, there are sacred plants that have been healing humanity for thousands of years. These are not just spiritual symbols. This is a direct medical prescription. Modern science has finally caught up, and clinical trials prove they work exactly as our ancestors knew. Today, I will show you 20 biblical plants with genuine healing power. Make sure you stay until the very end, because number 19 was once worth its weight in gold, and science just confirmed it regulates blood sugar better than modern medicine. And number 20 appears over 500 times as the ultimate symbol of life. Hit that subscribe button right now as we connect ancient biblical wisdom with modern health knowledge every single week. Let us begin. Number 1, aloe, the burial spice that heals the living. We all know the powerful story from the Gospel of John, chapter 19, where Nicodemus brought 75 pounds of a mixture of myrrh and aloe. But here is what most people miss. While aloe was historically used in massive quantities to prepare the dead for burial, it possesses a truly miraculous ability to heal the living. Modern science has caught up in a spectacular way. Clinical trials show that raw aloe vera contains over 75 active compounds, including vital vitamins, essential enzymes, and salicylic acid, which is the natural organic precursor to aspirin. At a molecular level, aloe accelerates cellular regeneration and dramatically reduces oxidative stress and severe inflammation. We are constantly running to the pharmacy to buy expensive synthetic burn creams and artificial healing ointments that are loaded with chemical preservatives. Meanwhile, the pure gel inside an aloe leaf works instantly. If you have a severe burn, a deep cut, or a painful skin condition, simply breaking open a raw aloe leaf and applying the clear gel directly to the skin provides instant cooling relief and triggers actual cellular repair. This is not just a spiritual symbol. This was a direct medical prescription. Aloe never got forgotten as a houseplant, but we did forget it is legitimate ancient medicine. Number 2, frankincense, the sacred resin of kings. You have undoubtedly heard the famous account in the Gospel of Matthew, where the wise men presented the infant Jesus with precious gifts of gold, frankincense, and myrrh. But here is what most people miss. This was not merely a symbolic gift of wealth or a pleasant fragrance for the temple. It was literally an ancient pharmacy in a jar. Modern science has finally caught up to this profound biblical wisdom. Researchers have isolated specific active compounds called boswellic acids inside frankincense resin. In rigorous clinical trials, these exact acids have been proven to be incredibly potent anti-inflammatory agents. They work on a molecular level by actively blocking the specific enzymes that cause joint pain, cartilage degradation, and swelling. It is so powerful that modern medical studies frequently compare its efficacy to modern non-steroidal anti-inflammatory drugs. But unlike those pharmaceutical drugs, frankincense delivers genuine healing without the devastating side effects that destroy your liver and your stomach lining. Traditionally, a few drops of pure, high-quality frankincense essential oil mixed with a simple carrier oil can be massaged directly into aching joints and arthritic knees for profound and rapid relief. Frankincense never got forgotten as a Christmas story, but we did forget exactly why it was considered as valuable as gold. Number 3, myrrh, the boundary between life and death. Often paired closely with frankincense, myrrh appears continuously throughout the biblical text. It was a primary ingredient in the holy anointing oil in the book of Exodus, and it appears again at the crucifixion in the Gospel of Mark, where Jesus was offered wine mingled with myrrh as a powerful, natural painkiller. But here is what most people miss. Myrrh is not just a perfume, it is one of the most powerful natural antimicrobials ever discovered by humanity. Modern science completely confirms this. Clinical trials demonstrate that myrrh extract contains highly active compounds that directly attack and dismantle bacterial cell walls. It has a profound ability to heal painful mouth ulcers, severe gum disease, and stubborn respiratory infections. It operates deep within your body to induce white blood cell production naturally, boosting your immune system exactly when you are fighting off an illness. Today, instead of buying synthetic chemical mouthwashes that destroy your natural microbiome, you can use a diluted tincture of pure myrrh in water to kill harmful bacteria instantly and soothe an inflamed throat. We have traded genuine ancient healing for artificial chemicals. Number 4, mint the tax of the temple. You might have this vibrant green plant growing like a common weed in your backyard right now. In the Gospel of Matthew, Jesus mentions mint alongside dill and cumin, noting that the religious leaders were so meticulously strict that they even paid their tithes and taxes with these tiny leaves. But here is what most people miss. Mint was valuable enough to be used as actual currency because its medicinal value was absolutely undeniable to the ancient world. Modern science has caught up to this ancient truth. Clinical trials reveal that peppermint oil contains a high concentration of menthol, a powerful compound that acts as a natural antispasmodic. It physically relaxes the smooth muscles of your gastrointestinal tract. This provides instant relief for irritable bowel syndrome, painful bloating, and severe indigestion without the terrible side effects of pharmaceutical antacids that disrupt your natural stomach acid. Simply steeping a handful of fresh, crushed mint leaves in hot water creates a soothing medicinal tea that delivers rapid healing to an upset stomach. Mint never got forgotten as a chewing gum flavor, but we did forget it was once considered a highly regulated medical treasure. Number 5. Mustard the faith-sized healer. We all know the incredibly famous parable where Jesus states that if you have faith as small as a mustard seed, you can move entire mountains. But here is what most people miss. The mustard seed does not just represent spiritual faith, it represents a mountain-moving medical intervention for the human body. Modern science shows that these tiny seeds are heavily packed with a powerful biochemical compound called allyl isothiocyanate. When mustard seeds are crushed and mixed with a little warm water, they release a highly potent chemical reaction that dramatically increases local blood flow and rapidly reduces deep tissue inflammation. For centuries, before the invention of modern synthetic cough syrups, a traditional mustard plaster applied directly to the chest was the ultimate treatment to break up severe respiratory congestion and fight off deep bronchial infections. The intense heat generated by the crushed seeds physically pulls the toxins and sickness out of the lungs. This is genuine healing that works on a profound physiological level, proving that sometimes the absolute smallest seeds hold the most miraculous medical power. Number 6, garlic, the ancient strength builder. In the book of Numbers, the Israelites wandering in the harsh wilderness wept bitterly as they remembered the fish, cucumbers, melons, leeks, onions, and garlic they ate so freely back in Egypt. But here is what most people miss. Their bodies were not just craving a delicious culinary flavor. Their bodies were desperately craving the ultimate ancient antibiotic to survive the harsh desert conditions. Modern science has completely validated this ancient craving. When you physically crush or chop a raw clove of garlic, it instantly synthesizes a miraculous compound called allicin. Clinical trials definitively prove that allicin is a broad-spectrum antimicrobial, antiviral, and antifungal powerhouse. It naturally lowers high blood pressure, reduces dangerous oxidative stress, and actively destroys harmful pathogens in the bloodstream without wiping out your healthy gut flora, the way modern pharmaceutical antibiotics do. Consuming just one raw crushed clove of garlic a day, mixed with a spoonful of raw organic honey, is a profound immune-boosting protocol that protects the heart and fights off infection. Garlic never got forgotten as a kitchen staple, but we did forget it was once the absolute cornerstone of ancient survival medicine. Number 7, onion, the plague puller. Mentioned right alongside garlic in the biblical text, the onion has a remarkable and deeply documented history of physically drawing out sickness from the human body. But here is what most people miss. Long before we had sterile pharmaceutical laboratories and synthetic antihistamines, people relied entirely on onions to purify the air in sick rooms and pull deep infections from the chest. Modern science has spectacularly caught up, revealing that onions are incredibly rich in a specific flavonoid called quercetin, which is a wildly powerful antioxidant and anti-inflammatory compound. Rigorous clinical trials show that quercetin actively stabilizes the mast cells in your body that release histamine, making the raw onion a highly effective natural antihistamine for severe seasonal allergies and acute respiratory distress. Traditionally, a freshly sliced raw onion placed directly next to the bed of a sick person or gently cooked and made into a warm chest, poultice was used to break high fevers and clear deep, stubborn chest congestion. It physically absorbs environmental toxins and delivers profound respiratory healing. If you are starting to see a powerful pattern here, if you realize that true healing is holistic and that the greatest pharmacy is not a sterile corporate building, but the earth itself, hit that like button and subscribe right now to join our community of people who understand that ancient wisdom and modern science are telling the exact same story. Number 8. Hyssop, the sacred purifier. In Psalm 51, King David cries out in deep repentance, saying, "Purge me with hyssop, and I shall be clean. Wash me, and I shall be whiter than snow." Hyssop was also the exact plant used during the very first Passover to paint the saving blood on the doorposts of the Israelites. But here is what most people miss. Hyssop was never just a spiritual symbol of ritual cleansing. It was a literal biological purifier that destroyed disease. Modern science has spectacularly confirmed this biblical reality. Hyssop leaves contain highly potent essential oils with heavily documented antibacterial and antiviral properties. Clinical trials have demonstrated its remarkable efficacy in treating acute respiratory infections, severe asthma, and chronic bronchitis. It works at a deep cellular level to act as a powerful natural expectorant, physically clearing trapped mucus and bacteria from the lungs. Drinking a properly brewed hyssop tea, or simply inhaling its steam over a bowl of hot water, provides an instant, soothing, and purifying effect for the entire respiratory tract. This was not just a religious ritual. This was a direct medical prescription for both physical and spiritual purity. Number 9. Fig the royal poultice. In the book of 2 Kings chapter 20, King Hezekiah was lying on his bed at the absolute point of death, suffering from a severe and highly infected boil. The prophet Isaiah did not just offer a spiritual prayer for the dying king. He ordered a literal medical poultice made of crushed figs to be applied directly to the infected boil, and the king miraculously recovered. But here is what most people miss. This is one of the absolute clearest examples of a direct, tangible medical prescription recorded anywhere in the biblical text. Modern science has finally caught up to the prophet Isaiah. Figs are densely packed with highly active proteolytic enzymes, powerful antioxidants, and strong antimicrobial compounds. Clinical trials clearly show that the natural latex and chemical extracts from raw figs have profound antibacterial properties, especially against stubborn skin infections and dangerous oral pathogens. The extremely high concentration of natural complex sugars and active enzymes physically draws out trapped moisture and infectious bacteria from deep open wounds. Applying a warm, mashed, ripe fig directly to an inflamed skin cyst or an infected boil is a traditional ancient practice that rapidly accelerates cellular healing and prevents sepsis. The fig never got forgotten as a sweet treat, but we did forget it once literally saved the life of a dying king. Number 10. Coriander, the seed of manna. When the Israelites were desperately wandering in the barren desert, God miraculously provided a daily bread from heaven called manna to sustain their lives. The book of Exodus describes this divine manna as being exactly like coriander seed white and tasting like wafers made with honey. But here is what most people miss. God specifically chose to compare his ultimate miraculous provision to the coriander seed for a very profound biological reason. Modern science reveals that tiny coriander seeds are an absolute powerhouse of digestive healing and cellular detoxification. Clinical trials clearly demonstrate that potent coriander extract acts as a powerful, natural antispasmodic, significantly reducing the painful and debilitating symptoms of irritable bowel syndrome and severe gastric distress. Furthermore, modern research has proven that the chemical compounds in coriander physically earth-grind to dangerous heavy metals and synthetic toxins trapped in the human bloodstream safely and effectively, removing them from the body in a vital process called chelation. Simply crushing a small handful of organic coriander seeds and steeping them in hot water creates a highly medicinal tea that instantly settles a violently upset stomach and actively detoxifies the liver. It is a genuine healing plant designed to sustain human life and restore perfect health, even in the absolute harshest and most toxic conditions. Number 11. Cumin, the ancient agricultural wisdom. In the book of Isaiah, chapter 28, we read highly specific instructions on how to properly harvest and thresh cumin using a rod rather than a heavy cartwheel. But here is what most people miss. This was not just a simple farming manual for ancient agricultural workers. It was a careful preservation guide for a highly volatile and precious medicine. Modern science has caught up spectacularly to this ancient wisdom. Clinical trials demonstrate that cumin seeds contain extraordinarily powerful chemical compounds, specifically thymoquinone and cuminaldehyde. At a microscopic molecular level, these potent compounds actively stimulate the secretion of vital pancreatic enzymes, dramatically improving sluggish digestion and significantly reducing the painful symptoms of severe intestinal bloating and gas. Furthermore, recent peer-reviewed medical research shows that cumin actively inhibits the dangerous formation of advanced glycation end products. These synthetic byproducts are directly responsible for the rapid, premature aging of our cellular structures and the devastating complications associated with chronic diabetic conditions. Simply dry roasting a single teaspoon of organic cumin seeds and adding them to your daily warm meals transforms ordinary everyday food into a profound metabolic therapy. Cumin never got forgotten as a standard kitchen spice, but we did completely forget why our ancestors considered it absolutely essential for human survival and longevity. Number 12. Rue, the medicine of absolute caution. In the Gospel of Luke chapter 11, Jesus directly mentions the strict religious leaders tithing tiny herbs like mint and rue, while completely neglecting the weightier matters of justice and love. Rue was so incredibly valuable in the ancient Middle East that it was practically used as a form of viable currency. But here is a profound twist that fundamentally changes how we must view biblical natural medicine. Rue is incredibly powerful, but it can be highly toxic and extremely dangerous if misused. Modern science reveals that the leaves of the rue plant contain extremely potent natural alkaloids and heavy flavonoids like rutin, which strongly fortify weak blood vessels and act as a powerful antispasmodic agent for severe muscle spasms and agonizing menstrual cramps. However, clinical studies also thoroughly confirm exactly what the ancient herbal healers already knew. In high, uncontrolled doses, this plant can cause severe permanent liver damage or act as a dangerous abortifacient. This specific plant teaches us a deeply profound and crucial lesson. Just because a remedy is completely natural does not mean it is completely harmless. God provided the medicine in the soil, but He also strictly required us to seek the deep wisdom and knowledge to use it correctly. A single small leaf, steeped very lightly in a cup of hot water, was the traditional historical use, but it demands absolute respect from the user. This wasn't symbolic. This was a direct medical prescription that required exact and careful dosing to ensure genuine healing rather than accidental harm. Number 13. The magnificent olive tree, the liquid gold of eternal longevity. From the very moment the exhausted dove brought a freshly plucked olive branch to Noah in the ark, signaling the end of the great flood to the sacred Mount of Olives, where Jesus wept in deep, agonizing prayer, this specific tree is the absolute beating heart of biblical history. But here is what most people miss today. The thick golden oil pressed from these bitter green fruits was the primary foundational medicine of the entire ancient world, used extensively to generously anoint the sick and physically heal deep open flesh wounds. Modern science has finally caught up to this sacred practice. Rigorous clinical trials have successfully isolated a miraculous and highly active compound in pure extra virgin olive oil called oleocanthal. This profound compound is a massive natural anti-inflammatory agent that actually works on the exact same complex molecular pathways as modern pharmaceutical ibuprofen. However, it achieves this pain relief without destroying your delicate stomach lining or silently harming your liver function. It aggressively and relentlessly combats the systemic oxidative stress that directly leads to fatal cardiovascular disease and severe neurodegenerative decline. Taking a full tablespoon of high-quality, raw, cold-pressed extra virgin olive oil every single morning is not just a healthy Mediterranean dietary choice. It is a genuine healing protocol. The olive tree never got forgotten by modern civilization, but we did forget that its heavy golden oil was originally revered specifically as a sacred life-saving medicine. Number 14. Pomegranate, the sacred crown jewel of cellular antioxidants. In the book of Exodus chapter 28, God specifically commanded that the bottom hem of the holy high priest's sacred robe be heavily decorated with beautifully woven pomegranates, alternating with golden bells. If you are starting to clearly see a profound pattern here, If you are finally realizing that the ancient Bible contains brilliant and highly advanced medical wisdom just hiding in plain sight, please take a brief moment right now to like this video and hit that subscribe button to join our growing community that truly understands that genuine healing is completely holistic. Returning to the magnificent pomegranate, this vibrant red fruit was the ultimate ancient symbol of abundant fertility and eternal life. Modern science has caught up spectacularly to its sacred reputation. The brilliant ruby red seeds and the bitter white pith are absolutely overflowing with chemical compounds called punicoligins, which are extremely potent biological antioxidants. Extensive clinical trials show that drinking pure pomegranate juice actively and rapidly reduces severe chronic inflammation throughout the entire digestive tract. More importantly, it has been scientifically proven to significantly lower the risk of developing prostate and breast cancer by naturally inducing a process called apoptosis, which is the programmed and rapid death of harmful mutating cancer cells. Drinking a glass of pure cold-pressed pomegranate juice or eating the fresh raw seeds provides an instant soothing, cooling sensation to a highly inflamed biological system and dramatically lowers dangerously high blood pressure. This was not merely symbolic. This was a direct medical prescription for ultimate cellular protection. Number 15. The mighty cedar, the towering fortress of physical purity. King Solomon built the magnificent and breathtaking temple in Jerusalem using the massive great cedars of Lebanon, exactly as described in the book of 1 Kings. We, in the modern era, often think of cedar merely as a sturdy building material simply because of its incredible physical strength and its beautiful, rich fragrance. But here is what most people completely miss. Solomon specifically chose cedar wood because it is a massive biological shield against disease and decay. Modern science has caught up to the temple builders. The thick, aromatic essential oils embedded deep within the heavy cedar wood contain highly active chemical compounds like cedrol, which have profound and proven antimicrobial and antifungal properties. In modern clinical trials, simply inhaling the pure essential oil of cedar wood significantly improves severe chronic respiratory conditions by actively breaking down heavy infected mucus trapped deep inside the human lungs. Furthermore, it acts as a powerful natural nervous system sedative that safely lowers the resting heart rate and significantly reduces chronic systemic anxiety. The ancient healers would actively boil fresh cedar needles and raw bark to create a thick, purifying medicinal steam for those suffering from severe, deadly chest infections. Cedar never got forgotten as a strong building wood, but we did completely forget why its deeply purifying and earthy scent was considered highly sacred and physically healing. Number 16. The mysterious balm of Gilead, the legendary rare healer. In the vivid poetry of Jeremiah chapter 8, the grieving prophet desperately cries out, asking, "Is there no balm in Gilead? Is there no physician there to heal the daughter of my people?" This incredibly rare and highly aromatic sticky resin was carefully extracted from specific medicinal trees grown only in a very small restricted region of the ancient Middle East. It was famous across the entire known world for its miraculous and unmatched ability to rapidly heal severe skin diseases and deep infected open wounds. Modern science has finally caught up to this ancient historical legend. Medical researchers have thoroughly found that true therapeutic botanical resins from this specific plant family contain high levels of salicin, which is the exact natural chemical precursor to modern synthetic aspirin, alongside highly potent organic antibacterial compounds. When applied directly topically to the skin, this thick, sticky golden resin creates an absolute impenetrable physical barrier over a dangerous open wound, while simultaneously delivering a massive, concentrated dose of localized anti-inflammatory medicine directly into the damaged bleeding tissues. While the original ancient trees are incredibly rare and almost extinct today, similar botanical resins are still carefully used by herbalists to formulate profound healing salve. This wasn't symbolic poetry. This was a direct medical prescription for immediate physical salvation. Number 17. Saffron, the priceless golden cure for the human mind. Beautifully mentioned in the Song of Solomon chapter 4, saffron has always been the single most expensive and fiercely closely guarded spice on the face of the earth. For thousands of years, it was meticulously used by ancient physicians to gently lift the heavy spirits of the deeply grieving and rapidly restore physical vitality to the completely exhausted. But here is what most people completely miss today. This is not just old cultural folklore. Modern science has caught up spectacularly. Highly rigorous, double-blind, placebo-controlled clinical trials have aggressively tested pure saffron extract against major heavy pharmaceutical antidepressants like fluoxetine. The published medical results are absolutely staggering. The active chemical compounds found inside saffron, specifically crocin and safranal, are clinically proven to be exactly as effective at treating severe clinical depression and crippling chronic anxiety as the leading pharmaceutical prescription drugs. But they do this without causing the devastating and common side effects of emotional blunting, massive weight gain, or severe chemical dependency. Just a few tiny golden threads of pure saffron steeped gently in warm milk or hot tea works directly at a microscopic molecular level to naturally and safely boost vital serotonin and dopamine receptors in the human brain. Saffron never got forgotten as a luxury culinary spice for the wealthy, but we did completely forget why it was the ultimate sacred medicine for a broken mind and an aching heart. Number 18. Sweet cinnamon, the burning shield of the holy sanctuary. In the book of Exodus, chapter 30, cinnamon is prominently listed by God as a primary foundational ingredient in the sacred holy anointing oil used to spiritually consecrate the tabernacle and the priests. Ancient global empires actually fought violent and bloody wars just to control the highly lucrative trade routes of this sacred tree bark. Today, we casually sprinkle it on sweet, sugary treats and morning coffee, but here is what most people miss. Ancient pure cinnamon was a highly lethal weapon against deadly infectious disease. Modern science has caught up to the ancient apothecaries.
The burning
cinnamon
shield
contains a
acts
massive
as a crucial
concentration of
defense
cinnamaldehyde,
mechanism,
a profoundly
neutralizing
powerful and aggressive
pathogens
natural
before they can harm the
antibacterial and
vital white
antifungal
blood
agent.
cells.
Recent clinical trials clearly demonstrate that true Ceylon cinnamon actively seeks out and destroys dangerous microscopic pathogens, including multiple mutant strains of bacteria that have unfortunately become completely resistant to modern pharmaceutical antibiotics. Furthermore, it drastically reduces systemic cellular inflammation and aggressively fights the dangerous oxidative stress that slowly destroys human tissue over time. Boiling a simple raw stick of true Ceylon cinnamon in fresh water creates a highly medicinal and spicy tea that aggressively defends the human immune system from external attacks. Cinnamon never got forgotten as a comforting flavor, but we did forget that it was once deployed as a sacred burning shield against deadly sweeping plagues. Number 19. Cassia, the golden metabolic miracle. I specifically promised you earlier in this video that we would discuss a sacred plant that was historically, literally worth its weight in solid gold, and here it is. Closely botanically related to pure cinnamon, cassia is beautifully celebrated in Psalm 45, where the great king's royal robes are described as being heavily fragrant with myrrh and aloes and cassia. It was highly prized and aggressively sought after in the ancient world, not just for its deep, spicy, and intoxicating aroma, but for its miraculous and unmatched ability to rapidly restore physical energy and burning vitality to the weak, sick. Modern science has caught up in a way that is currently sending massive shockwaves through the conventional medical community. Extensive clinical trials have conclusively proven that cassia is an absolute undisputed powerhouse for human metabolic health. It contains highly specific and complex bioactive compounds that physically mimic the exact biological action of human insulin inside the body. At a deep molecular level, cassia actively and forcefully drives excess floating glucose out of the human bloodstream and directly into the starving muscle cells, exactly where it belongs. It brilliantly regulates dangerously high blood sugar and significantly improves severe cellular insulin resistance, often performing much better than conventional Western synthetic medications. And it achieves this without causing the harsh, agonizing gastrointestinal side effects, or the toxic liver, damage frequently associated with synthetic lab-created drugs. Adding just a simple half teaspoon of high-quality organic cassia powder to your daily morning routine provides a genuine and powerful healing intervention for our modern metabolic crisis. This wasn't symbolic. This was a direct medical prescription for sustaining immense physical endurance. Number 20, the sacred vine and its wine, the ultimate and final symbol of life. I told you at the very beginning of this journey that we would finally reveal a specific plant that appears over 500 times in the Holy Scriptures. In the Gospel of John, chapter 15, Jesus powerfully declares, "I am the true vine, and my Father is the vine dresser." From the very first foundational chapters of Genesis to the final apocalyptic pages of Revelation, the twisting grapevine and its deeply crushed red fruit represent the absolute core of biblical life, pure joy, and the sacred saving blood of the New Covenant. But here is what most people completely miss. The ancient people did not just drink fermented wine merely for joyful celebration. It was the absolute standard liquid base for all ancient herbal medicines, and a profoundly powerful medicine in its own right. The Apostle Paul even directly instructed his young student Timothy to use a little wine for his stomach and his frequent physical illnesses. Modern science has finally caught up to this profound and ancient truth. Top cardiologists and brilliant medical researchers have spent decades exhaustively studying the dark purple skin and the bitter seeds of grapes, discovering a highly miraculous chemical compound called resveratrol. Hundreds of clinical trials now confirm that resveratrol is a monumental and aggressive weapon against deadly oxidative stress. It actively repairs and heals the delicate endothelial function, which is the vital inner lining of your blood vessels, preventing the dangerous hardening of arteries and significantly reducing the risk of a fatal cardiovascular disease or sudden heart attack. It fights cellular aging at the deepest possible molecular level. Consuming fresh, dark-seeded grapes or a very moderate, carefully measured amount of naturally fermented organic wine without any synthetic chemical additives delivers a massive and powerful dose of cardiovascular protection. The vine never got forgotten as a source of drink, but we did forget that long before it was a massive commercial beverage, it was the ancient world's most sacred and genuine healing medicine for the human heart. Look back at these 20 miraculous gifts, and you will realize something truly profound about our world today. Modern science has spent billions of dollars and decades of peer-reviewed research in sterile laboratories, only to arrive at the exact same conclusions that our ancestors knew thousands of years ago. We have been heavily conditioned by modern society to believe that genuine healing only comes from a plastic bottle stamped with a long list of dangerous side effects. We have traded the pure, sacred elements of the earth for synthetic chemical compounds that often do more harm than good, damaging our vital organs and disrupting our natural biological balance. We constantly run to the pharmacy to temporarily suppress our symptoms while completely ignoring the profound natural cures growing right outside our doors or sitting silently in our kitchen cabinets. The text we have explored today is not just a spiritual document meant exclusively for moral guidance. It is a highly accurate, direct medical prescription. It is a magnificent survival manual documenting profound healing wisdom that worked flawlessly back then and is clinically proven to work right now. This isn't folklore. This is real, science-backed healing. When biblical wisdom meets modern science, it unlocks true holistic health beyond pharmaceuticals. Which plant surprised you most? Spices, resins, or fruits? Comment below. I read them all. If this changed your perspective, subscribe and join us.